When you hear the word Debenhams, you're probably thinking shopping, as most of us do. But here at Morgan Sindall, we're thinking retrofit and regeneration. Today, I'm here in the centre of Gloucester talking to Senior Project Manager James Lawley about this exciting project for the University of Gloucestershire. Here, we're creating a new space for university students to come and learn. James, can you tell me a little bit about the project that we're on and also the history of this building?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So we stood on the roof of the old Bon Marché building, which was built in the late 1920s, opened in the early 30s. More recently was taken over by Debenhams. And then, as we know, with many city centre buildings, department stores affected by the pandemic, was purchased by the University of Gloucestershire in 2021.
And what is the University of Gloucestershire planning to do with this building? What's it going to be?
So it's got many functions, including housing the city library, teaching space for students, a cafeteria, and also the health and social department as well.
And as a senior project manager, what's your role on this project? What's it been like working on this project?
So it's been a fantastic experience, but my role is building that vision with the university, the client, and also building relationships with my site team, the stakeholders, the local residents, our neighbours, the subcontractors, and blending that all together to deliver the project.
Once Morgan Sindall Construction have done their part of this build, what's this space, what's this building going to be used for?
Okay, so we're on the first floor of the building here, which is the health and social department. The rooms we're just walking past now are going to be the health and social room, the VR immersive room. We've got various interview rooms, but the main focus of this area of the project will be the health and social department.
So I understand there have been a few structural challenges on this project. Can you talk to me about some of those?
Yeah, I've got a really good example of one just here above the curtain walling. So you can see these two brackets, which are a non-standard solution for fixing back the curtain walling. And one of the reasons we've had to do that is clay pots were used as void formers in the 1930s and 40s section of a building, but they've got no real structural properties. So we had to identify the voids within the pots, fill them full of a non-shrink grout, which would allow us to fix the curtain walling brackets to the underside of the clay pots.
So there's many areas that has affected on this build?
Yeah, there is, in particular at ground floor level where we've got the bigger units, but also along Kingswalk where we've got the big curtain walling units at every floor level. And
is that the kind of thing that can be identified before a project starts, or is that something you discover as you go along?
So, because of the processes involved, we were still stripping the building away, taking the old Debenhams finishes, and as they get removed, we identify more parts of the building, and we start learning about the building at that point.
So I understand as part of the project that the windows is quite an interesting story. Can you elaborate?
Yes, so these are crystal windows. We had to remove existing windows to install new double glazed windows that help with the thermal performance of the building. But the interesting fact is that we used crystal windows to install the new windows, and they were the contractor who manufactured and installed the original windows in the 1930s.
In doing this project, you uncovered an ancient burial ground?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So we're just walking outside to it now. But we've got, there's been a number of churches on this land over the years, dating back to Saxon times. Mm-hmm. So we're just walking through here now. We've got the brick vaults, which you can see just in front of us. They're from the Victorian burial ground. But when we were excavating for the substation, which is a blue brick building just in front of us there, we had to go to a greater depth, which is where we encountered the medieval burial soils. And we found 160 bodies located just within the footprint of the substation. And we anticipate that that's going to be repeated throughout the remainder of the service yard.
And what's the local interest been like in a story like this? Has it got lots of, buzz?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of interaction with the local community over this. I think people were posting photographs on Facebook, so we did a press release just to inform people it wasn't anything sinister. We were expecting to find the burials here because of the historic churches that have been located here.
Can you tell me about where we are now and what the challenges have been down here in this part of the building?
Okay, so we're in the lower ground floor, and we've had a lot of challenges down in this part of the building, which include upgrading the waterproofing to modern building standards. We've got a thermal upgrade to do. And some of the challenges that we've experienced, in particular with the waterproofing, is the floor hasn't really been suitable for modern waterproofing. We found lots of areas where the screed has not been suitable. And once we've started breaking that out, we found other issues with the existing waterproofing. So it has been a challenge, but it's one that we're getting close to resolving.
And in terms of this basement area, have there been other challenges as well down here that you've found?
There has. So this part of Gloucester is located on the old Roman fort, which was built in AD 47. And the Roman fort is literally below the floor slab here. So we've encountered the floor of a Roman villa and a drainage ditch when excavating the drainage sumps. Historically, they did find a mosaic when they were extending in the 1950s. They haven't found anything that glamorous. It's been quite interesting for the people working on the site.
Sustainability and social value are obviously very important, and can you tell me anything about how that's been carried out on this project?
Yeah, so I think the first thing to talk about is we're repurposing the city centre building rather than knocking it down and rebuilding. So the impact on carbon reductions there immediately. The university is going to bring 4,000 students into the city centre, which will have a positive impact socially around the local businesses and the community.
Education is important in our organisation and bringing new people, young people into the organisation. Do you have any graduates on this site?
So we've got a number of people who have either within the graduate scheme now, progressed through the graduate scheme, and we've also got 2 degree apprentices, quantity surveyor and a site manager working within the team as well.
What have been your best bits about working on this project so far?
Oh, that's quite a difficult question to answer because we've had so many different challenges. But I think dealing with the heritage aspects, the Oxbow has an Art Deco facade, and bringing that back to life with the doff cleaning and the stone repairs is probably something that not only ourselves get to see through the journey, but the local residents, the people who come to the city centre, get to see the building brought back to life as well. So yeah, I'd say the facade repair works, definitely.
So it sounds like this project brings a lot to the community. It's not just about the university, there's other aspects to it.
Yeah, well, the building is one of the most famous buildings in the city centre, after the cathedral of course, and it would have been a crying shame to see the building derelict and fall into disrepair. So making use of a building for the residents, and also with universities, people come from out of town, and that will bring a bit of vibrancy to the city centre.
What does it mean to you personally to be involved in a project like this?
So it's incredibly exciting actually. It's quite a new experience for me personally, but bringing a historic city centre building back to life, it's got its challenges, but they're definitely rewarding.